All right, man. Let's talk, man. So apparently this thing with David Montgomery got on the internet. A rumor was started, which could be true or false. According to David Montgomery, it seems that this is the false rumor. If we being real, if he's being transparent or being honest. So it says Fowler, I guess that's Jeremy Fowler. I don't know, insider says that Dave Montgomery wants out of Detroit, and Detroit would want a decent day three pick, possibly a fifth round in return. Dave Montgomery responds, "Damn, Demo told you that." So the thing about it is this: who knows? This can be him trying to save face, which I don't think so. This can be the Lions putting stuff out there. So because they really do want to get rid of him, they don't want to implement him back into the fold. And I think you feel a certain type of way when your coach call the plays and he still don't implement you. He implements you less. They feel like his usage was higher with John Morton. You know what I'm saying? And but you got Detroit Lions top playlist, thumbs to the video, share, subscribe to the channel. I just never understood why they got away with him from what it worked. And this is the one of the bigger impacts that Ben Johnson had, because Ben Johnson had the only two running backs who had 750. Both of them had at least 750 plus rushing yards, or something like that. So Ben Johnson understood the perfect timing when to use and how to blend and when to use David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. He understood that. The Lions, when Ben Johnson left, he took that to Chicago with him. He took that to Chicago with him. And what they want to do is transition to Jahmyr Gibbs, which I don't think is a smart idea. You want to put the whole load on Jahmyr Gibbs. You're going to pay him and then put the load on him. And then guess what's going to happen? He going to get injured. This is just common fucking sense what's about to happen. What y'all was doing, running with David Montgomery, it was working. And then at the end of in the middle to the end of the year, and you flood them with more Jahmyr Gibbs. Montgomery keep Gibbs fresh. Gibbs keep Montgomery fresh. And then it was times last year where they was in Philadelphia. It was third and fourth and short. They was giving it to Jahmyr Gibbs, got stopped on so many short downish situations. It was fucking comical. And they kept passing. And one time they had a fourth and short, or I think late in the year, I can't remember who they was playing. I think they called the play action to Dave Montgomery. So they definitely need a new offensive coordinator, because, it was it just like, okay, you paid me, but then you turn around and face me out. And he did get injured, and they seen what Jahmyr Gibbs can do towards the end of that season last year, which was more baffling than anything. Because when they got to the playoffs that particular year versus the Washington Commanders, he was getting 10 yards a pop, and then you go on third and short or fourth. I think it was third and short. You go 5 wide receivers. It's just that, to me, dog, they do a lot of dumb shit in Detroit. They really do. Sometimes I really think they too smart for their own good. You had something that was working between Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Now you want to go prematurely pay Jahmyr Gibbs, make him the highest running back, so it don't cost you more money later. You're going to trade David Montgomery, pay this dude a brand new contract. After you paid Kirby Joseph a new contract, he got injured. You paid Aleem McNeil a new contract, he got injured. You paid Amon-Ra St. Brown a new contract. We seen what happened with Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was second or third in the league in drops last year. Damn near everybody you freaking paid. You pay Anzarike a little 1-year deal. What happened to him? He got injured before he even got a chance to take a snap. You paid Aiden Hutchinson. His production fell off last year too as soon as you paid him, similar to what's going on with Dennis Jenkins and the Detroit Pistons. So y'all don't see it. So, right now, you want to sit there and say, well, let's move. And cool, you want to move on from Dave Montgomery and recapture some of those draft picks that you floundered away on players that you thought that didn't materialize. Manu Giovanni, Sonoy Vaki. At this point, hey, why don't you put Sonoy Vaki in the Dave Montgomery situation? He ain't the same type of running back, but hey, you did draft him. You drafted him to be a running back, not a safety. Is he just going to be a special teams player? You did all that moving and maneuvering in the draft for him to be a special teams player. If you moving on for David Montgomery, Sonoy Vaki should have a bigger role in it. But then again, guess what? Yeah, you guessed it. Sonoy Vaki can't stay fucking healthy. Another draft pick who can't stay healthy. So we started kind of having these conversations and looking at everything, like it just doesn't seem like a smart investment unless you have a guy lined up. Prepared. to step into that role. Are they gonna pay money? They gonna pay Jameer, make him the number one back. He gonna go down. I'm telling you that, or he gonna fall off. It's happened several times when they prematurely paid these guys. So I don't understand why they don't see it. If anything, you find a way to integrate both of them together. It's not hard. As long as you let David Montgomery, you rock out in the beginning of the season, he'll be happy with it. And towards the end of the season, then you just kind of move Jahmyr Gibbs to that full-time starter. That's why he take less punishment. He fresher towards the end of the season. The whole nine. I don't understand it, bro. I don't understand. You have something that was working, and then, he got injured, but then you like, okay, we're going to go full. Cool. But obviously last year, it wasn't working. If anything, you need to use Dave Montgomery more. Montgomery was running well last season, and then they just said, "Oh, let's stop giving the ball to him. Let's stop giving the ball to him." To me, it made no sense, and maybe I'm just the odd person out. But respectfully, it just didn't make no sense. So, we've seen this movie before. We really have. It really has. But yeah, I mean, for him, it could be true. It could be something the Lions put out there. It could be something that somebody made up. It could be some, it could be something the Lions put out there he made up. That Montgomery could be out there and say, "Oh, no, I ain't say that," but saying that he didn't say it or had nothing to do with it, but had a lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? But if they're gonna move on from him, move on from him. Hopefully they just ain't gonna say we just gonna give the backfield to Jahmyr Gibbs, and good luck with that. They really better fix that offensive line then. They really better fix that offensive line. I know what y'all thinking. Oh, if you get Jahmyr Gibbs the carries that you gave David Montgomery, he can get that. It don't work that way. You got fatigue, you got injuries, all that type of stuff, man. I don't understand why you had something that works so well and you want to change it. I don't understand it. But I guess why it works so well was because of Ben Johnson. So I guess what they saying that Ben Johnson is gone. Oh, it ain't gonna work. And if that's what they're saying, cool. But tread lightly before you pay this dude prematurely. Tread lightly. And this is something that nobody talking about. They fucked up a couple times. Damn near everybody they signed got injured after they signed. Even Panisa Will played through some injuries. So it is what it is, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Hit the link tree, find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, the whole nine. Everything in the first link in the description. Say find me everywhere. Peace.